Hello and welcome back to another episode of Two for Cross-Checking, but we've got three. We'll have four later. I am Alex alongside Andrew and Sully, and we are here to talk about the last week in pretty much just sports, but we got some stuff to touch on, especially in hockey, football, and we'll save baseball for last, because today is opening day, at least as of recording, it is opening day. So, and as you can see, one of us is a little sad today, and the other one is a little bit happier today. But I want
Yeah,
to
you're a
start with
Royals
hockey.
fan, right? Well,
Yes,
you're
I
used to
am.
being sad.
I am used to being sad. I am. I am. But,
About the Royals, at least, yeah.
yes, but we have won a World Series since the Guardians have.
Well, that's because, you know, even in the 70s, Chief Wahoo was quite a lot racist. So that did get a curse a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I was cheering for
Uh,
the Cubs in 2016. Anyway,
yeah,
I
yeah, yeah. Thanks.
I wanted to talk about hockey first and foremost, though. I'm just looking at scoreboards right now. It is about 9:20 Eastern time, so there's a lot of games going on. Buffalo is crushing Pittsburgh, although Pittsburgh, Sidney Crosby, big headline. What was it? He becomes the first player to have a point per game season for 20 straight years, breaking Wayne Gretzky's record. Is that what it was?
I don't know if it's 20 straight years. It just said 20 seasons.
20
He has his
20
20th
seasons.
season of averaging a point per game.
Well, I do believe this is Sidney Crosby's 20th season.
Then that would be
So, let's just double check here. He was drafted in 2005. Yes. This would be his 20th season. So, yes, 20 straight seasons of point per game pace. That is incredible.
that's insane.
Yes. And there's still like 10 games to go. So,
Yeah, the
um,
fact that he already clinched that
yeah.
for the season also kind of
Yeah.
crazy. But
And speaking of point per game paces, this ties me into the Blues really well. I hadn't been paying a whole lot of attention to their like real stats, like the points stats and stuff. I looked at it. Robert Thomas, 64 points in 61 games played this season. He leads the team in points. Um, Incredible. I'm so happy we have Robert Thomas and Jordan Kyrou on this team. I know
Yeah, they're so good.
they're so good. There were a lot of people talking about like the potential of like trading Kyrou in the offseason. And I'm like, no, you can't do that. If you trade one of those two players, I mean that is your future core. Thomas, Kyrou, and Vucinovic. That is your offensive core for the next decade.
Yeah,
And
I
with
mean,
that, what were you saying?
oh, just Thomas is such a creative passer, man.
He
He's so much
is.
fun to
It's
watch.
yeah. I mean, it's like watching a Sidney Crosby or one of those like the guys who made their money passing the puck.
But I don't know if anybody does better drop passes than Robert Thomas, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
he's just
and
so instinctive with it. It's
now I do wish he'd shoot the puck a little bit more. Um, but at the same time, when the play is to pass it, it's the play is to pass it. But I know that is one of the big complaints about him is that he does not shoot the puck as much as he probably should, as much as he probably could, and get away with it. And then Jordan Kyrou, 31 goals, 31 assists, 62 points in 73 games. He's not going to hit that points per game pace, I don't think, unless he has a couple more nights like he did last week. But he's so good. He is my new favorite player. He has
yeah, you've been
been.
liking Kyrou for a while now.
Yeah. He was
Ow.
climbing that list real quick after the departure of Fabry. And then
Yeah,
yeah. Um, and we're not gonna talk a lot about hockey tonight. There's bigger bigger fish, you know. But I do want to touch on, speaking of the Blues and the Central Division, especially Patrick Maroon announcing his retirement. He played his last game at Enterprise Center last week, or earlier this week it might have been, when Chicago visited St. Louis. Pat Maroon, big St. Louis. He born and raised in St. Louis, helped win the Cup in St. Louis. Hometown hero. He had that Game 7 double overtime winner against Dallas. I will never forget. And I just wanted to talk about him because he is a spark plug. You can put him anywhere. He's a physical player, and without him, the Blues don't win the Stanley Cup in 2019. It just
Oh, and I mean, he helped the Lightning too with like the
Mhm.
two after
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, he
was
won.
so
He won
crucial
3 in a
'cause-
row.
Yeah, because like you stick him in the bottom six, and
Yep.
teams think they can relax. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, he's
He's
such a problem, man. His
yeah. He's an
physical,
amazing.
smart, sneak up on you, and yeah,
He's an
big red
amazing net
return
front
for the
presence.
garage is
He's a physical player. He does everything that you want to see out of a bottom six guy.
well, he does everything you could possibly want from somebody trying to win a hockey game.
Yeah. It was who was the third guy? It was him, Barbashev, and I can't remember who the third guy on that line was in 2019. But
Oh, was that
was it Stasny or Schwartz maybe?
No, it
No,
was
they were
Sonny,
top
wasn't
six.
it?
Yeah, Sunquist. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah,
Um,
Sunquist. That line was killer for you guys.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Putting those guys out there, and we started the games with them. I mean, it set the tone early.
Yeah. It stole the words right out of my mouth.
Yeah,
About setting the tone, yeah.
but this is mostly me just saying, Patrick Maroon, you will forever be remembered in St. Louis and beyond. And here is to a wonderful career.
Absolutely.
Again, winning 3 straight Stanley Cups from St. Louis and then going to Tampa for 2. Amazing. And from feel-good stories to, well, I feel good about it. John Tortorella got fired again. I don't like John Tortorella. I never have.
You can never tell. Never in a million years.
I don't
It's not like
him.
Torts is super abrasive whenever he just
Yeah.
talks to anybody ever.
Yeah. Now, I will say, one of the bright spots of John Tortorella this year is his defending Cutter Gauthier to the media after the Flyers traded him, and then like there was that one dude in the media that just was shitty all the time, and Torts was
yeah.
like, "Hey, bud, fuck you." Like that, he earned some respect from me there, but I just don't like him. I don't like his style of play. It's not necessarily him that I don't like, although, like you said, he's very abrasive to the media.
That's not a bad thing. It would just
Yeah,
he is a prickly person. I'm sure,
Yes.
one-on-one, if you're to sit down and have a conversation with him would be different, but
probably.
yeah, he does not like talking to the press or
Yeah.
having to explain himself to the press or
For sure.
So he's
Uh,
Bill Belichick?
He's got more personality than Belichick, though. Like Belichick could
okay.
definitely be like an automaton, just walking around that someone programmed to coach NFL defenses. But
Now, I will say, John Tortorella is an amazing head coach, and he improves pretty much every team he ever goes to. I just don't like him. But he got the Blue Jackets to the playoffs that one year, and then they swept the Lightning.
well, yeah,
Man, this
Bob
is
had a little bit.
we
to do
we,
with
we
that,
love
yeah.
2019 in this podcast, don't we?
I've still got the commemorative St. Louis Blues championship vodka hanging around somewhere.
Oh, one of these days I'll get all my memorabilia back up behind me, and it'll be really good.
No, you won't. Don't lie to the people, man.
Well, one of these days is vague enough that it can easily be true. It's not a set
Yeah.
timeline, so
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. He's gonna be moving sooner than later, so there is a set timeline.
I'll get all my pucks back up. And the only other really big thing I wanted to talk about hockey-wise is something that we kind of meant to talk about last week and just didn't get to, is Brad Marchand going to Florida. I don't, I don't think he's played a game there yet, but
I
I
thought
may
he
have blue
played.
scored.
I thought he played a game like against Boston,
Oh yeah, you might be right.
like shortly after he was traded. He played against Boston. I
Yeah.
remember hearing something about that.
Yes.
Was it in Boston? I want to say.
It might have been. Hang on, I'm trying to.
Yeah, just rip the heart right out of Boston there. It's
Yeah. But I
Isn't
will
that like
say,
technically a rival?
what was that?
Isn't that technically like Boston's like one of their like rivals or like in
Recently,
division?
they have become a bigger rivalry in more recent times. They've met each other in the playoffs the last couple of years. They're in the same division, so it's hard not to be rivals when you're in the same division, and then especially when you
Right.
meet each other in the playoffs a couple times in a row.
it's been a
So
kind of one-sided rivalry though. Florida's
yeah,
been having their way with them the last few years.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
And yeah, now
Um,
nobody wants to play Florida with
yeah. Yeah,
just
between
all
between Matthew Kachuk and Brad Marchand, I don't want to go anywhere near that team.
and Barkov and Lundell and
Oh, yeah, all them. I'm just talking about the pests. And they throw
yeah,
rats in Florida. It's perfect for Marchand.
he does he loves playing the villain. It's
He does. But also, while he does love to play the villain, he's also an amazing skill player,
oh I
which
know
he really showed the
it's
last couple of years.
yeah I love all of it,
Brad
man. I
Marchand
love
has not made his debut for the Florida Panthers yet.
Okay. So I
Yeah.
guess maybe he just returned but didn't play.
Yeah, he has not played since March 1st.
Hmm.
So,
Injury, I'm assuming.
yeah.
yep.
Where'd it go? Where'd it
All
go?
right, well maybe we can try Google before the next show so we can
Ah,
That'd be
doing
cool.
it in real time. It's a theory.
Yeah, he has an upper body injury. It does not say what it is because it's hockey, and they don't like to tell people anything.
No.
upper
Which is
body
fair.
injury. I'm gonna take a guess. Upper body injury. That means. Sorry, ESPN. I'm trying to see if there's anything good. There's not. Upper arm injury. That probably means like broken
No.
humerus or something.
Upper body, not upper arm.
Oh, upper body.
It's literally,
So
it
far,
could be anything from his waist up.
it's probably like a broken arm, and he's gonna be back in like 2 weeks. Well, from now.
I don't know. I
It
don't
could be with
remember.
hockey. It could be anything.
It could be
It really could.
literally anything.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not like soccer where like he probably hurt their leg. With hockey,
yeah,
it could be head to toe,
yeah,
pick a body part.
right. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it for me for hockey for this week. It's been a pretty mostly quiet week. Ovechkin got another goal. He's got 6 to go. Um, I- Tampa is up 8-0 on Utah right now.
Tampa's been on a tear, man.
Yeah.
Against the corpse of the Coyotes.
Yeah, yeah.
I've decided I'm refusing to acknowledge the former Coyotes' new identity.
The Utah Hockey Club. The
Yeah, it
Utah,
doesn't
we can't be
exist.
called the Yeti because Yeti coolers won't let us share the trademark.
And that would have been such a great name too. Like that would have
I
been
know. That's the one I
such
was
a
hoping
great
for.
name.
That is the one I was
Speaking,
hoping
It
for.
can be the Utah Sister Wives. There you go.
Utah Mormons.
there you go.
Except I think TLC is going to sue them over that, so they can't
Yeah,
do that either.
probably.
Oh, probably. Speaking of like on a tear, I'm just looking here. The Blues have won 7 in a row.
Yes, they have. I was actually about to bring that up myself. Yeah, they are absolutely on a heater. They have, I think, and I'm probably going to spread misinformation again here. I think they've only lost twice since the Four Nations Cup. Um, they have played incredible. I said it last time. The 2019 version of Jordan Binnington has shown his face, and no, he does not look nervous. I'm super happy to see it. Obviously,
I mean, you guys, you're right in it, right?
we
You guys
absolutely are.
are,
We're in the second
because
wild
like the
card spot right
Wild,
now.
yeah, because I'm looking here at the standings just in the Central, and it looks like the Wild have 2 points on you guys, but
Hmm.
I've seen that they've been struggling a little bit
Hmm.
lately.
Yeah.
So
And we are currently playing against Nashville. We're down 2-1, and Minnesota is up 3-2. So by the end of the night, we could jump Minnesota
very
if
nice,
both of
very
those
nice.
scores flip.
The Central is brutal, man.
It is. Um, yeah.
I mean, it's got to be the best division in hockey.
Oh, yeah.
This year, yeah, I didn't consider you got
This
Winnipeg,
year,
Colorado, and Dallas.
yeah, that's true. But we also have the Chicago Blackhawks.
And the Predators. My
Yeah,
cousin's wife is a Predators fan, and this year has been
yeah.
borderline unmentionable.
I actually want to talk about that for a second. Who would have thought that Ryan O'Reilly and Steven Stamkos being on the same team could lead to 62 points in 71 games? Because it sure was not me. I mean, it's two super old centers, but like, it's crazy. I just can't
Yeah,
believe that those two players on the same team aren't winning more games. And a minus 47 goal differential.
yeah, there have been. I mean, I'm not a super genius, and I'm definitely not the first person to say this, but they've been atrocious defensively.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
So is it just like they're really bad at defense, or is this like the first year that they're playing together? So could it
Yeah,
be
so
some kind of
yeah,
Stamkos was the big fish free agent this last year.
yeah, yep.
Nashville got him.
well, they
Ryan
got
O'Reilly, he's
Stamkos.
old, but like,
Yeah,
I
they
just,
also brought in March or so and Brady Shea.
yeah, yeah. Which
So it,
Shea actually scored tonight.
oh, okay.
Good for him. He was a Cane. He did a good job with the Canes for a long time. I like seeing Brady do well. Yeah, shame the Preds aren't. They're not really predating anything right now.
Yeah,
Or predatoring.
yeah.
Yeah, predating is a different word.
Yes.
Now look at that. I see a kitty cat.
Yep.
And
Hi, Juno.
looking at appearance here, cameo.
Yep.
The star of the show makes her appearance.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it'll be once a episode
Oh,
at
at
least.
least.
Yep.
But yeah, I could see your case as the Central being the best division in hockey for sure. Um, I feel like that has belonged to the Metro for a while. And I think if the New York teams
Weren't so middling, then yeah.
yeah, then it would still be that. And
Yeah,
Pittsburgh
it's
really
really
fell
just
off.
the Caps and the Canes in the Metro this year.
Yeah. I mean, New Jersey, they're at 83 points. Like, that's not great, but it's not.
Yeah, I got a friend that's a Jersey fan. If just half the team could be healthy at once in New Jersey, then like they could get 90, 95 points easy. It's
Yeah. I'm a big fan of the Hughes brothers.
oh
So
yeah.
all three of them are really good. Quinn Hughes won me fantasy hockey last year. So,
Nice.
Man, I haven't played that at all.
yeah, I haven't really looked at it either. We're in a fantasy hockey league. It's just a fun one, and I don't think I've looked at my lineup in 7 weeks.
It's probably been like 3 months for me.
But when I go onto
Oh, wow.
ESPN, I still see I still see my standings, and I'm like 15-3. So
I don't even know what I am. I started the
Just
season.
let it ride. There you go.
yeah. That's the. I'm like, I'm just gonna let it play out.
Just let the team go feral. It's fine.
Yeah.
But didn't we miss the the draft too because we didn't
Yeah,
know what
yeah,
day
yeah.
it was.
You and me and Jacob all three missed the draft, and yeah, we're all
Yeah.
we were all at least the top of the league for the first few weeks.
Yeah.
Is there anything else we wanted to touch on in hockey before we move forward?
I don't think I have anything on hockey now.
All right, Andrew, who's winning the cup?
You're gonna hate it, but well, I picked Dallas before the year, which I know you're gonna hate. But yeah.
You know, yeah.
Man, I guess Winnipeg. I picked them to do well last year, and it bit me. So I'll do it again.
All right, on the
I'd like to see
record,
Hellebuyck actually.
I
get-
actually I would too. Sure.
Can I make a
Yeah.
wild card guess?
Yeah, go for it.
Vegas. And I like points wise, they're a little down. I know they have some veterans on their team. I don't know if they've. I haven't really followed. I don't know if they've had injuries or anything, but they just seem like a team that like, if they get in the playoffs, they can turn it on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, that's what salary cap circumvention gets you. Mark Stone will be ready to go day one. I
See,
guarantee
I like
it.
Mark Stone, but Alex does not.
Look, it's one of those things that he did a thing, and it was a dirty play, like 6 years ago. I don't remember. I remember he made a play that I didn't like. I don't remember who he hit. I think it was Petrangelo. He had a no, it was
Gotta
Falk.
do it, yeah.
It was either Petrangelo or Falk. He made a dirty hit against a player that I liked, and now I don't like him.
Oh man.
And it's just that's the way it's been for so long now that it's just how it is.
Oh. Am I the first person? I know I brought it up years ago that Justin Falk looks just like Sacha Baron Cohen playing hockey.
Okay. All right. All right. So with that, I guess we will move on. We have a little bridge subject this week. We're gonna talk a little football.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna let you guys go on that. I can chip in when I can, but
Alright.
this is more you guys.
Yeah, I'll do the
Yeah.
same with baseball. So Sully and I go for it.
Alright, so two big things. The Giants may have found a quarterback. They signed two of them. They signed the Brown quarterback, Jameis Winston. I saw a lot of things coming out there that for like 2,000 yards
You're
and like,
cutting out a little bit.
oh, am I?
Yeah. Jameis and then what, Russell Wilson? Yeah.
Yeah, that one hurt because I thought the Browns were gonna sign Russell, but I guess I still can't pick it.
What I think this means is that I think they're picking Travis Hunter, because if Jameis is the quarterback, he can be an amazing wide receiver for his good passes and a great cornerback for his bad passes. So,
I saw that one too.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw it and I had to say it.
That's not out. Yeah. Well done. Well done.
Credit for
means-
that joke goes to that guy on Twitter, I think. I don't know who it was. I don't have a source.
I saw like 17 of them.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah,
So that was not an original joke by me, but you're welcome.
We'll pretend it was. Well
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Well done.
Another big thing to talk about: the Cincinnati Bengals have found their checkbook for the first time in a long time.
Like 40 years since I think before any of us were born.
Yeah, like they signed Joe Burrow, which like they had to
Mhm.
sign Joe Burrow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Now they paid Jamar Chase, made him the highest paid player in the league that's
Mhm.
not a quarterback, and then they signed T. Higgins to a pretty
Yeah, I
massive
didn't
deal.
think they were going to get T. Higgins done.
I didn't either.
think-
And now they
I'll
have
be
like
honest.
$10 to split between the rest of the lineup.
So here's the thing: they're now talking to Trey Hendrickson about giving him like 30 to 35 million a year. Like they actually still have money somehow, and it's like, okay. But yes, you're right. The three players, Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow, and T. Higgins, quite literally those three players make up like 75% of the rest of the league's offenses.
Yeah.
So it's like, yeah, great, you have these guys, you're still not gonna have an offensive line.
Yeah. And
Yeah, not to
a good
mention
good
defense.
comparison
Yeah.
for that, like to go back to hockey real quick, is the Edmonton Oilers. Um, they have like 50% of their cap tied up in two players. I don't think it's quite 50%, but it's a lot of their cap is tied up in Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl, and they can't get players around them, and
They do a better job than Toronto did with their core
yes,
four.
yes, you are right.
If we're going
They
to pick
did
on
make it to the
anybody for
Stanley Cup final
spending,
last year, but
if we're going to pick on anybody for spending recklessly and perhaps inappropriately, you gotta throw in the
Oh.
Maple Leafs.
oh,
I mean,
Toronto.
I'm pretty sure the Browns take the cake in that.
I was talking about in the bubble of hockey, but yeah,
Okay.
I don't think there's been a worse trade in sports than than Deshaun Watson.
There's not been a worse
That's not a bold
trade.
claim, I don't
There's
think.
not been a worse contract. The Browns royally fucked that up, and we traded away Baker Mayfield, who's probably going to go win a fucking Super Bowl in Tampa Bay at some point in his career, and it's
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, the Browns rounded that up real good.
When there was talk about it, I was like, you got to be kidding me, really? Like, I was like, why are we doing this? And then Baker requested a trade, and everyone's like, why is he requesting a trade? I was like, he literally just got told by the owner and the head coach, like, hey, you're not our guy. We don't trust you. I'd want out too. But yeah, I mean, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean,
At least Myles Garrett is staying, so you can't be
yeah, that's something.
the worst.
Oh man, that was so funny. I remember like I was at work when like that news dropped that he wanted out, and everybody in the building immediately turned against him. They were like, "Well, fuck him then." And then like
Yeah.
a week later, like there's just all this stuff that just keeps coming out, and they're like, "Oh, fuck that guy." Blah 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 blah. Then they signed him, and they were like, "Yay!" And I'm like, "No, you can't flip
can't
on him
just pretend
twice
that
in a
happened?
month."
I don't. You'll have to fact check me because I know I ventured it to you, Alex. I don't know if I was ever really upset with him. Like I think I understood him wanting out.
Oh, I'm not talking about you.
Right? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the sane reaction to him potentially wanting
Yeah.
out. Is,
Yeah, like I understand. Look, we wasted your prime years and Nick Chubb's prime years with Deshaun Watson.
Yeah.
I'd want out too.
No, there was a guy at work that like when he like signed, they were like, he must have just like been sitting around and been like, but all my stuff is here. Do I really want to leave? Like, I don't want to have to move. Like, do I want to have to buy a
you
new
gotta
house?
get a U-Haul, and then
Yeah, I gotta hire somebody to get a U-Haul for me. Like,
and then you gotta get a new driver's license in a new
Yeah.
state, and like a change of
Yeah.
address form, which
Yeah.
is super
Yeah.
easy. But that's the only part that's easy.
I mean, I'll be 100% honest. When he requested the trade, I thought he was gone. Like, I literally, I think I talked to Alex probably every day about different trade offers that I'm like, yeah, let's do this. Like, I was like, let's send him to New England for Joe Milton, their first, so we have the 2 and the 4. And we have Joe Milton, and we'll just sit there and be like, okay, we're going to take Abdul Carter at 2, and we'll take Travis Hunter at 4, and then be done with it. And I'm like, oh, we could do this. But, I mean, yeah. The big fish out there still is Aaron Rodgers right now.
Okay, go on.
Yeah, we got similar reactions to.
That's the big fish out there. I mean, there's talk that Minnesota could still want him. He did meet with the Steelers. I mean, he met with the Steelers. I think it makes sense for the Steelers.
It's the only play. There's no way you bring Aaron Rodgers to corrupt J.J. McCarthy in Minnesota. There's too much good going on. It's
Aaron Rodgers threw the biggest of fits when they drafted Jordan Love. I don't think the Vikings want to sign somebody who is very vehemently against the idea of somebody else being able to get his job.
See, that is not why he
what's the
threw a
opposite
fit.
of a mentor? I guess.
No, hold on. He was a great mentor to Jordan Love. Great mentor. He threw a fit because he took them to the NFC Championship game, and they were a receiver away from winning and going to the Super Bowl and probably winning the Super Bowl. And then they decided, instead of drafting him a receiver in the first round, which, by the way, in his entire career, they never drafted him a receiver in the first round. Never once. His best receiver they drafted in the third round, or second or third round, was Devontae Adams. They never drafted him any playmakers in the first round. So he was upset that they did not get a weapon for him to use to take them to a Super Bowl. He was not upset. He was not upset about them drafting Jordan Love. He was not. He was, but he was not upset about it because he was like, "Oh, I don't want to mentor this person." He mentored him, and then he went on to win 2 consecutive MVPs to, shove it up their asses. But it's not that he's not a good mentor. I also think he's at a completely different place in his career right now than he was then.
Well, yeah, when you start shooting yourself up with ivermectin, it really fucks your athleticism.
Maybe all the ayahuasca trips.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Apparently he didn't do that this year. Like, that's not what he did this year. This year he just went to his beach house in Malibu, which I thought he could sign with San Francisco.
honestly,
And,
the ayahuasca is like the least troublesome part of his whole spiel at this point.
That's fair.
Like, that's the part I don't have a problem with.
Here's what confuses me about Aaron Rodgers. Like 10 days ago, he said, "Yeah, I'm retiring." Didn't he?
No, he never came out and said that. He has not come out and said anything. He has not said a single word.
What did he say on the Pat McAfee show? Because
Nothing.
I saw. Okay.
Nope.
Somebody.
He is
okay.
never.
All right. This is my own fault. I read the headline. I did not watch the video because somebody sent me a video of him on the Pat McAfee show saying something, and it said Aaron Rodgers announces his retirement or something like that. So that's on me for not actually watching the video. I don't like that platform, and therefore I'm not going to watch the video.
Unless it was today, because I did not watch today.
No, this was like last week.
Oh, no, he has not been on, because they were just talking about it yesterday or, yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. They were just talking about it yesterday because AJ Hawk is on the show, and they were talking about, AJ Hawk played with Aaron Rodgers. They're real close, and they always try to get AJ to be like, "Hey, what have you heard? What have you heard?" And Aaron has pretty much, he's really good friends with everybody on the Pat McAfee show. I'm pretty sure any announcement he has will be on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah, he can do whatever he wants on that show. So
they're real good friends.
And he gets paid to be on the show. So
oh yeah, I'm sure he does. Yeah, but for Pittsburgh's sake, it makes sense. Like, it's the best option for them to get a chance at a Super Bowl run.
Agreed. Pittsburgh's really the only place that fits, honestly.
Minnesota could, because I don't think they're fully confident in JJ's knee yet, because he had to have a second surgery already. I don't think they're confident in his knee. They didn't get Sam Darnold, they didn't get Daniel Jones. They still need another quarterback if JJ cannot be healthy.
I think you can pluck a Joe Flacco or some kind of journeyman.
Here's the thing about Joe Flacco. Everybody's talking about him. He came off the couch. He had, 4 or 5 good games with the Browns. Then he stunk. He looked like doo-doo. He looked worse than Deshaun Watson against the Houston Texans.
Not true. Not true. Absolutely not true. 4 of his 5 games, he threw for over 300 yards with the Browns, which Deshaun Watson has not done in any Browns game in his entire tenure. So no, you can't blow worse than Deshaun Watson. Nope.
In the playoff game against the Texans?
Oh, he was giving it all away in the playoffs, but Deshaun is still worse.
But okay, so then he gets a year older. Then he goes to Indianapolis. Richardson loses his job to Joe Flacco. He has one good game, and then Joe Flacco loses his job to Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson, who has never thrown for more than 60% completion in his career at any level, Joe Flacco lost his job to. But people are saying Joe Flacco, 41 years old, is supposed to be able to come in and be a quarterback. I'd rather take Jameis Winston, if I'm being honest with
I
you.
was using him as an example, not as a specific person, but as just a middling veteran backup. You can bring that guy in to placehold Nick Mullins, whoever you want to throw out there to just keep the seat warm. It'd be a better choice than the locker room disruption that Aaron Rodgers is going to be. Because could you imagine him having to cede that job once JJ's fully healthy, if JJ's not fully healthy for week 1? Why torpedo your team like that? Now, you saw what happened with the Jets. Why would you possibly sign up for that when you've got such a good thing going?
Yeah. Speaking of the Jets, they signed Justin Fields, which I kind of love that for them. Like that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about their team with Braylon Allen, Breece Hall, Justin Fields, Garrett Wilson, and I'm like, listen, I know it's the Jets and the Jets are going to jet and all that, but like, you can sign me up to watch some of their games now. It might be interesting. It's all going to be based...
watch, and not in like a circus kind of way, but yeah.
Right. Yeah, it's actually worth the watch. Yeah, we'll see. Like, now I'm gonna make a comment here. I've made it to Alex over here. Look out for the Bears this year. The Bears, I mean, they've won the offseason basically every year. This year, they really won the offseason. They brought in Ben Johnson. They solidified the offensive line. They traded for Jerry Cooney.
They stole DB coach from my Cowboys. Al Harris is a beast, man. He turned very elite for like half a decade.
Yep.
That was the one thing that I was hoping. Like, well, we hired Brian Schottenheimer, so maybe we can retain Al Harris. But nope, can't do one little thing right, can we?
No, you really can't. Did you hear the reports come out that the Browns were in talks of trading for Dak Prescott? It has now been deemed fake, but there was reports that the Browns were trying to trade, like actually in serious talks with the Cowboys for Dak Prescott and actually swapping Deshaun and the number 2 pick for Dak and one of those picks because of Dak's contract and his cap hits is actually a little worse. Like with the trade, it would be better for Dallas cap-wise than keeping Dak on there. So, like, people made that up, and I was like, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I've never been a huge Dak fan. Like, I know he can put up numbers. I'm just not a huge fan of his, but...
He's definitely... He was way better in the pros than I thought he was at Mississippi State. I think...
Yeah. He's better than Tony Romo.
Kind of. I'm trying to find my words here. Just, I think that if you stuck him, like, in on a team like San Francisco, where you're not asked to, like, carry the whole team on his shoulders, but just kind of be a connective tissue around a really solid... Point guard? Yeah, exactly. Type role. I think he'd be great at that because he's mobile. He doesn't turn the ball over that often. But if you're asking him to chuck it 50 times a game, he's not horribly inaccurate, but he's also not the most accurate passer.
See, so that sounds like you're like talking about Jameis Winston there, because you're not going to win a game having Jameis Winston throw it 50 times a game.
Then you're going to have 10 interceptions a game. You might get 10 touchdowns. You're going to get 10 touchdowns, 10 interceptions.
Listen, man, the most electric Browns game I've ever seen was Jameis Winston at the helm of that thing, man. 497 passing yards, 4 touchdowns, 2 pick sixes for another 200 yards. I was like, oh my god. Dude.
He's not boring. Yeah.
All right. Anything else we wanted to touch on in football?
Kirk Cousins was in Westlake, Ohio at a Chipotle today.
Okay.
Yeah, Don't ask me how I saw that on Instagram. And like, I did my math. I did like my checking. Seems to check out.
Okay, cool.
He's rumored. I mean, we might. They say they want to trade for him. I don't think that it will be a trade unless they eat some of the cap or anything like that.
Well, I think if it's a trade, then like y'all
It has
would
to be a
get
trade.
picks from Atlanta. It's like it would be
It
like a
has to
Brock
be a trade.
Osweiler trade. Is
Yeah,
that
but
salary
we don't
cap?
have the
So
cap.
they
We don't have the cap space for that. So like, I'm trying to understand. Unless it's like, oh hey, we'll give you
you
like
can get
back.
funny with the cap because the Saints have been doing.
Yeah, but the Saints are paying for that now. The Saints are paying for that
Yeah,
now.
but you can do funny stuff for like a
Yeah, but you're
decade. So if you wanted to, you could make it work. There's
Yeah, fair.
and the Browns are paying for everything always by just existing.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
All
We'll
right.
see. We'll
Shall
see.
we move on to baseball then?
yeah, we can do some
Yeah.
baseball. Let's do some baseball.
All right. So yes, Guardians won against my Royals today. Extra innings, took 10. Uh Sam Long came in the 10th inning and did Sam Long things.
And look, that was 100% on your pitching coach and on your staff. That was on cue. Kyle Manzardo killed the lefties that you threw at him all day, and like he had like one righty that he faced and he struck out against him, but he had 3 extra base hits against lefties throughout the day, and they sat there and said, yeah, we're gonna leave the lefty in to face him, and then he had an extra base hit and drove in 2 runs.
Yeah. Also, Hunter Renfroe is not very good.
He was good a decade ago.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's this decade though.
Yeah, he almost had a home run. Their guys' stadium is fucking huge.
Yeah, it is. Um, yeah, he
He got
almost had a
into
home
one.
run.
He got into that thing, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah, he
Got
almost had a
very
home
little
run,
frustrated.
and then he misplayed a ball in the corner, and then he missed a throw to stop you guys from tying the game. It was a long throw, but and then he went, I think, 0 for 3 at the plate. So
Yeah.
yeah, one
Yeah,
of those
Uh,
0 for 3 was almost hitting a home run and getting like 5 feet short. But
Yeah.
you know,
Tanner Bybee got scratched today. So I saw something come out. Apparently, Tanner Bybee eats Chipotle before every throwing session that he does.
Mm.
So people were saying that it was from that. Truth is, he actually wasn't feeling good yesterday. And they kind of called Ben Lively and were like, "Hey, just be ready in case." But Ben Lively did Ben Lively things. He went out there, gave us 5 good innings. I mean, our bullpen looks like our bullpen when you have arguably 3 to 4 of the top 10 relievers in the league in one bullpen. You just need to give us 5 to 6 innings and let them handle the rest.
yeah. Yeah, I was very happy with Cole Reagan's performance today. I'll say that. He struggled in the first inning, walked the bases loaded, and then got out of it somehow, and then Pasquatch with the 3-run shot.
That was huge. That was huge.
That was massive.
He's growing his hair out now, and I kind of dig him with the long hair. Like he really gives off the Pasquatch vibes.
Yeah.
Has he always not moved that well? Because like he hit that double, and he looked like he was laboring.
He has a hamstring strain.
Okay,
He
that makes
strained his
sense.
hammy with like 1 game left in spring training. There was doubt that he would even play today from certain people. I knew he was going to play. It was just whether he was at first or designated hitter, and he was DHing today. So he has or maybe it was his quad. He has a leg injury. He's not moving great right now.
Gotcha.
Fortunately, in that home run, he did not have to hurry around the bases.
No, didn't have to hurry all that much. And that thing was swatted too. That was crushed.
Yeah. But Yeah, Manzardo had a 2-run home run. Bobby got a stolen base.
Yep.
I it was a good game. I was able to
Oh,
listen to it.
100%.
I wasn't able to watch the game unfortunately because blackouts are a thing and they suck. Um, but I was able to listen to it and it sounded like a good game.
I'm maybe a little bit peeved. I paid for it. Like, I paid for the Guardians TV package. Went on, couldn't get it to work, and I'm like,
Yeah, MLB
what in the world?
TV in general across the board had an outage today right at opening pitch time
Yep. So
because I was
I
unable to listen to it on the MLB app when I got out of work until like the second or third inning. I was able to find it on the radio after because I was driving home. I was able to
Mhm.
find it on the radio. Which, by the way, shout out to your guys' radio team. They're great. They're awesome.
Tom
They were
Hamilton.
yeah they are incredible. They had some very very nice things to say about Kansas City. Just talking about like they were talking about how they thought Bobby Witt Jr. should have won the MVP last year, and like
Hmm.
saying like I don't know like I know Aaron Judge is Aaron Judge, but the Royals would not be anywhere close to where they were last year without Bobby Witt Jr. who and they were going through the stats and I'm like, "Oh yeah, he did all of these things. Batting title, most hits in the league, Silver Slugger, Gold Glove, doesn't win the MVP." Okay.
Did they also talk about? Did they also mention like Vinny Pascantino? Did they talk about him as well, saying like, oh, as soon as he got hurt, their offense went down the can?
They did not mention that specifically. They mentioned like,
Okay,
he hadn't hit a home run since before the injury.
all right. Because
Um,
I'm trying to see like, because the TV broadcast, because the game was actually broadcasted on DirecTV, which
mhm,
it was on FanDuel Sports Network, which I was told that it wasn't going to be on. So if I bought this and I didn't have to, I'm going to be a
yeah,
little peeved off about it. Um, but like they were talking about it on there, like they were talking about Bobby Witt as well, and they're like, like this guy probably should have won it when rightfully so. The things that he did, like I know he didn't have all the numbers, like all the home run numbers, but everything else, like
yeah.
he probably should have won it. I mean,
And he
just
plays an actual meaningful defensive position.
look, Aaron Judge plays center field sometimes,
Yeah.
not well, but
I
as we
I
saw in the
said what I
World
said.
Series,
I said what I said. Um, no, I understand why he didn't win it last year. I understand why it went to Judge. I get it. But as a Kansas City fan, I'm still gonna be salty about it.
I mean, I'm salty about it for him because like he had the better overall season,
And
and
again,
Yeah,
like without Aaron Judge, that Yankees team is still really good. Without Bobby Witt Jr., the Royals lose 100 games last year. I
yeah, exactly, yeah,
at least
that's the thing
90.
for me.
would have been 100. Let's be honest, 100%. They could have been worse than the White Sox.
No, we had good pitching last year, but
Yeah,
our
yeah,
starting rotation has been very good.
yeah. Reagan's was pretty good today. His pitch count, which every time we seem to play him, his pitch count is really high, really fast. Is that like a common theme, or is that just against us?
I think that's you guys. I think that's you guys playing against Cole Reagans very well, and forcing the pitch count up so that he can't stay in as long.
Yeah,
I
like
think that is
who?
more a testament to the Guardians because Cole Reagans is usually very quick and very efficient.
Yeah, because I do know like last year he struggled against us, and then again today it was like fifth inning and his pitch count was
Yeah.
up there, and it was just like,
Yeah, when I
man,
heard that Zerpa was warming up in the fifth inning, I was like, here we go!
yeah, 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 yeah. But no, great first game, honestly.
hmm
Um,
Looking forward to the next 161.
yeah. The one thing I want to touch on, the Guardians Steven Vogt made a change to the lineup. It's going Steven Kwan at one, and last year it was Steven Kwan, Andres Jimenez, or somebody else, and then Jose batting three because your best hitter bats three. the Steven vote came out and said, I want to get Jose more plate appearances. How do you do that? You move him up in the lineup. Well, you're not going to move him to one. Steven Kwan is arguably one of the best leadoff hitters in the game. Move him up to two. I was questioning it. And then I think it was when we scored our run. We had men on first and second, nobody out, Steven Kwan up, and then Jose Ramirez up. And I'm like, oh, this makes perfect sense. If the bottom of our lineup can get on,
Yeah.
and we have our two best hitters, we're going to get a run at least.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of how our lineup looks right now, with
Yeah.
going India and then Bobby, Vinny, Salvi.
Yeah, so like you guys have people behind them because like I think it was like Jose, Lane Thomas, Manzardo. Like it wasn't like any big names behind Jose that like could 100% be like we can walk him. So, but I just wanted to comment on that because like that was one change that I saw that I was like I wasn't sure about it, but I would be remiss if I didn't shout out Terry Francona, made Reds debut today. Lost in a heartbreaker. The Reds don't have a bullpen basically, and ninth inning they were up and then they weren't. But I think Terry's going to do some pretty good things over there. I wouldn't be surprised if end of season the Reds are like right there just because of Terry Francona.
Okay. Well, if we're moving on around the league, I also want to talk about the Seattle Mariners had their first ever walk-off on an opening day game. Walk-off hit.
Yeah, they haven't been around all that long, have they?
True, but it's just interesting that was the
Yeah, I'm
first
sure
time.
not every one of their openers is at home either, so
True.
you got to take some.
True. Okay, fair. And then Tyler O'Neill. Did you hear about this one?
I don't think so.
He has homered in 6 straight opening days.
Yep.
6 straight. That's crazy.
Yeah, he
That's
was good in
impressive.
opening days. And the Red Sox won today. William.
Oh no, they did not.
Did they not?
Oh, they did the opposite of that, man.
Wait.
Orioles shellacked them 12-2.
Hold on.
Red Sox.
Yeah, I thought you said Red Sox.
He did. They beat Texas 5-2. You're thinking of the Blue Jays.
That's right. Yeah, the Blue Jays. My bad. I can't read.
Okay, I swear I saw William Abreu had two.
I'm looking at it right now.
I just saw the Orioles won 12-2, and I didn't. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, no, the Orioles definitely did.
Yeah.
Good for them. I want to see the Orioles do well.
I don't.
I've got friends that are Orioles fans, so I'd like to see them do
These
well.
O's ain't royal.
No. But yeah, so one thing I wanted to touch on, you kind of mentioned Jordan Kyrou in St. Louis, trade rumors in the offseason. Another guy who trade rumors in the offseason, Nolan Arenado in St. Louis. He hit a home run today. I just thought that was a cool story, especially after there was trade rumors galore about him, especially with how the Cardinals have been doing. But that was nice to see. The only other thing I have, it kind of ties to the Guardians a little bit. Tim Anderson made his LA Angels debut today. Made it LA Angel. He made his debut opening day in Chicago against the
That's
White
funny.
Sox. He got a standing ovation, which I thought was fucking hilarious because I was like, he wasn't that good.
And I just saw the score of that game too.
Did the Angels kill them? Or no,
the White
killed
Sox
the
won
Angels.
8-1.
Yeah. I had the scores turned around in my head because I saw that earlier and I was like, man. So like, do we think are the White Sox going to be better this year, or are the Angels just going to suck this year?
What?
Or both?
Wait. What about the Angels sucking this year is different from last year, or the year before that, or the year before that?
they weren't the worst team in the division like the White Sox were.
Fair.
They weren't the worst team in MLB history like the White Sox were.
That's true. That's true. I'm.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's the first game. It's hard to judge a whole lot. Because the Royals also, back to that game, Royals have been a pretty good like base running team. Today there was some mistakes.
Isbell did not show it. I mean, I think Blanco made the right move coming home. So it was a hot shot to third, man on first and first and third. Hot shot to third base. One of their fastest players, probably their fastest player, other than Bobby Witt, was on third and decided to come home. Jose Ramirez threw it home. It was a great play by Bo Naylor to actually run him all the way back to the base. Because with his speed, if he gave that ball up any sooner, Jose Ramirez would not have been able to catch him, to tag him out. And the reason that Kyle Isbell got caught up between second and third is he turned thinking that Jose was going to have to run him down a little bit. Jose got the ball and took 2 steps and tagged the guy, and he was out. So it was very quick. So Isbell, thinking that he wouldn't be able to catch him, was caught in no man's land, and then it became...
Yeah, because I mean that play right there also very, very much could have changed how the game ended, but you know, coulda, shoulda, woulda. With that, is there anything else we wanted to touch on?
I think that is all for me. Cavs just won again.
Yes, they did.
Their magic number to clinch number 1 is now at 5.5 or 5. I'm not sure how that works. But they're right there.
Good for them.
Yeah. I mean, they're playing amazing this year. They went on a little bit of a schneid here. I think they lost like 4. They had like 4 games in 5 days, all on the West Coast, and they lost all of them. They went on a real cold streak, but they kind of found it. Refs weren't helping them today. I mean, they definitely look like a team that came off of a 4 games, 5 days West Coast trip. They were down 11-0 to start the game.
Ooh.
Like, to the Spurs, who don't have Wemby, who don't have De'Aaron Fox. Like, I was like, this is not right. We should be killing them.
Yeah, that's an oof right there, yeah.
Yeah, it was still a close game most of throughout. Like, we got up by like 20 at one point, and then it was like the lid on the rim shut, and we just couldn't make a shot, and it wasn't pretty basketball at times. At times it was real pretty, and at other times it was ugly. I was like, this is...
Yeah. Shohei Ohtani also hit a home run again today, so...
Oh. He's going to hit like 3 a week. Like, he's probably going to get 70 home runs this year, if I'm being honest with you.
Yeah. All right, well, with that, I think if that's going to do it for us, I think we are going to call that a show. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. Have a good day, night, afternoon, whatever it might be. This is a video that you could be watching at any time of day. Be sure to tell your friends about us. This will be on YouTube and on Spotify, and again, eventually I'll probably get it to some other places. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and this has been 2 for Cross-Checking. I'm Alex alongside Andrew and Sully, and have a good one, everybody.
Good, everybody.